In this video, we will talk about multimeter. We will perform some of the uses of the multimeter. So, the multimeter is a device or instrument that, that can measure current, voltage, resistance, and continuity check. So, we perform this safety check, calibration, checking the polarity, checking the continuity, resistance, checking the DC voltage, AC voltage, and checking the capacitor. First, in using the multitester, we must check its safety. So, we'll check the test probe must be connected on a desired. So, negative must be connected on a negative, and positive must be connected in the positive. And check the wires if there is broken wires so that we can read the correct value. So next is calibration. So to calibrate the multimeter, we must point the pointer to 0. Since it is not pointed to 0, so we will calibrate it. So we will twist the knob, and so it is pointed to 0. Then we will short the two test probe and see if it's pointed to 0. So it's not pointed to 0, then we will adjust the adjusting knob in the side. So it's done. The pointer is pointed at the 0. Then we will perform the polarity check. So we have a battery here, a 9 volts battery. So we'll check its polarity. So the negative or the positive probe must be connected to the positive of the battery, and the negative probe must be connected to the negative. If the pointer deflects, then we have a correct polarity. If the pointer will deflect right, if it deflect left, then we have a wrong polarity. Negative is connected to the negative, positive is connected to the positive. So the pointer deflect right, so we have a correct polarity. So we proceed to continuities. We have a wire here. So we will check the wire if it has continuity. Since we have no continuity in our tester, so we will use the resistance. Then we will connect the test probe in the end and the one in the end. If the pointer will deflect to 0, it means that it has no resistance or there is a continuity, so the current can flow. Next is resistance. So in checking the resistance, we have a resistor here. A resistor's color is red, black, red. So we will check it. the knob must be pointed into the resistance times 1K. Then pointer at in the 2. So 2 times 1000 equals to 2000. So this resistor is 2 kilo ohms. So when we read it by its color code, we have here its color code. So we have blue, rather black, brown, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, gray, and white. So in black we have 0, brown 1, red 2, orange 3, and so on. And in its multiplier, black will be times 1, brown will be times 10, red will be times 100, orange will be times 1000, and so on. So we have here red, black, red. So red is 2, then black 20, then red times 100 equals to 2 kilo ohms. So we have a correct reading. So let's proceed with DC voltage. So it will go back to the battery. So we will adjust our adjusting knob into DCV. Since it is 9 volts, so we will adjust the knob into the DCV 10. So we'll connect the negative to the negative and the positive to the positive. So it is 8.5 volts. So we have 8.5 volts. So we have 8.5 volts. In checking the voltage of a DC, the polarity must be considered. So the negative must be connected to the negative and positive must be connected in the positive. So let's proceed with AC voltage. Now in AC voltage, we are not considering the polarity. So it's either that way or that way. So in checking the AC voltage, we must place our knob into the highest ACV. And so we must be careful because we are dealing with 220 volts. Then we proceed to checking the capacitor. So we have here a small capacitor, an electrolytic capacitor. So we check it. We place our adjusting knob since we have no farad here, so we place our adjusting knob into the resistance. So negative to the negative, positive to the positive. First we will short or drain its energy, so since the capacitor is used to store energy. Then if we reverse it, there is no deflection. But if we there is a small deflection. So a good capacitor, if we connect the positive to the positive and negative to the negative, the pointer will deflect to the right and then go back in the middle. And if we reverse it, there is no deflection. That's all. Thank you. God bless and keep safe.